Inspire School of Fashion. My name is Jumoke Olaguju. Today I quickly want to show you how to make your own sole from scratch, as in the sole that you can use for your sandal or your slippers. So you're going to need your shoe last, but if you don't have a shoe last, I'm going to show you how you can use your foot to draft whatever you want to draft. You're going to need Mako. Okay, this is, I think, size 4 Mako. I prefer it thick. I don't want a thin one. In fact, this one I'll be doubling it so that the slippers or the sandal will not be so flat on the ground. It's going to be a little bit high. Okay, but it's optional. You can use a single layer, and then you can also use carryboard or this cardboard. Okay, but this is Mako. This is what I'll be using for this particular sole. Then we're going to use a pattern Mako for the sole, and you can see that this pattern, I'm not sure if it's showing, there's a pattern on one side so that it's not smooth, so that when you walk on the ground there's a grip. This pattern gives your sole a grip, so that is why they use it for the sole. Okay, and also we're going to be using these weights to tape the edge. You're going to need your gum and your brush, file, what other thing, your knife, and any other stuff we'll see that we need as we go on. So the first thing you're going to do is to draft pattern for your insole. So how do you draft pattern for insole? You're going to take a plain piece of paper, place your last on it. If you don't have a last, just put on a socks and then put your foot on the paper. If you have someone to help you, it will be easier, but if you don't, you can still manage. Just bend, and I'm taking your pen straight like this. Just trace your foot. Okay, so once you trace it out, you can see you're going to have something like this. This is what you're going to have. Now, if you're using your foot and you're not using a last, this inward side may not be well defined, so you may need to just curve it a little bit so that it's well defined. So this is what it's going to look like. This is a female sandal. For a male one, it may not be as defined as this. Okay, so once you get this pattern, you're going to place this pattern on your carryboard, the plain one, the one without pattern, and cut out two pieces, the left and the right piece. You can see, just place it on top of the carryboard, trace it out and cut it out. I'm not going all through the cutting it out and everything so that we save time. So once you cut it out, this is your insole. Now I want to use two because I don't want it to be flat. I want the shoe, or the sandal or the slippers to be a little bit high. So I will double my carryboard, my Mako, but that is optional. If you don't, because we're still placing it on top of this, so you can see that it's already high even with one, but I just want it a little bit higher. That's why I'm doubling it. Okay, so after cutting those two pieces, I'll just take my sandpaper and then do a rough stub on. Okay, just so that the gum will work better. It will allow you to glue better to each other. So now I'm going to apply glue on both sides and glue it together to make one piece. So I've applied gum on both sides. And it's dry, just place it together and make it one piece. Okay, So the next thing I'll do is to file it so that this thing just blend. Okay. Alright, so I have my insole. Then I want to put a little bit of soft material on top so that, okay, at least when you place your feet on it, it's not so hard, even though it's not as if this one is hard. So you can use a thin foam or anything that is soft that you can put on it. But okay, I'm just using this interfacing is a wording. It's called wording. So I'll just cut a piece of it and also gum it to the top here, so to give it a little bit of softness. That is also optional. Once I've gummed it, the next thing is to wrap it with whatever you want to use for your wrapping. Now you can use a soft leather, but this slippers or sandal that I want to make, I'll be making use of a jean material. So I'm going to use the same jean material to wrap this insole. So just place your pattern. Let me remove this black so that you can see it. Place your insole on top of the fabric and just cut around it, leaving small spaces, like maybe 1 inch around, all around, to wrap your insole. So I'll quickly have gum and wrap. So our insole is ready. Now we want to cut the main sole. So you're just going to place your insole on top of this sole material and then make sure there is a space all around, because once we trace this, we have to add enough space around the edges to allow this to go around. This is like 1/4 inch welt, so I'm going to add like 1/4 inch all around this. But first I'm going to place this perfectly on top of the sole and then I will trace it out. Let me use chalk so that you can see clearly. Even though the chalk will make it to spread, so ideally you should use pencil or a pen. This chalk is so that you will just see. I hope it's clear. Okay, so around here now I'm going to add 1/4 inch all around, then cut it out. I'll cut 2 pieces of that. So around that point, or another thing you can do is, if you don't want to now be spending your time adding, as in you want to be perfect, you don't want to be measuring 1/4 inch, just take this and apply gum all around here, apply gum all around here, apply gum on the flat side of the welt. There are different types. This one has a pattern on top. There are some that are plain. So for this pattern one, you on the plain side is where you're going to add your gum, and then we're going to, and it's very flexible, so I'll just use it to follow the lines that I have marked. But one thing you should note, let it end in the inside part of your sole. Let me trace this so that you can see it very well. Okay, I hope it's clear now. Okay, this is the inside part of the sole, so this is where I'm going to start from, so that the joining, the closing part will be on the inside. So I'll just glue it all the way around. So once I've done that, I'll just take my knife and cut it out. So let me quickly do that and I'll show you what let me quickly just show you what it looks like before I cut it out. Okay, so I just, after applying gum, I just place this there just to guide me when I'm attaching this decoration on the edge. So when you remove it, you're going to have something like this, you can see. So now just take my knife and just cut this out on the outside carefully and neatly, because you know we are doing this without using a regular file, so we have to make it as neat as possible. Then we'll file it. Now this is what we have. This is the sole, this is the insole. So this is ready. Just create any top that you desire and place it on it. It could be a slippers, it could be a sandal. In my online class on shoe and bag making, I've done several drafting of different tops, and any of those tops can go with this. Just look at anyone that you feel match, and you can even use just straight band, 1, 2, or a big band in front to make a slippers. And